Hello everyone, welcome back to Tekpon. Our guest today is Adam from Workweek. Hello,
Hi, thanks for having me on.
how are you?
Doing well, doing well. It's Friday, so can't complain here, and it's been a good week. So excited for our conversation, Christian.
Happy for you. Please tell us what is Workweek.
Workweek is a collective of industry experts where we support them grow and become the voice of authority in their space, and we do that through a wide variety of ways: monetization, growth, content production, and everything else.
So, in a way, if I want to become an influencer in fintech, I can come to you and you'll help me. You'll help me with that, or how does it work?
Yeah, that's right. So the idea would be if Nicole Casperson's a good example of someone that we've brought on. She had a really unique perspective in the fintech space. Was looking to grow her voice, to have more systems, but. And Alex Johnson's another person in the fintech space. Same thing. He was a consultant, had a great newsletter, but just like almost did it as a hobby. And over time, what we've realized is there's so many talented people that are almost better creators than they are operators or in that space, and they need the time and the space, the resources, and confidence to be able to fulfill their potential. And that's what Workweek's trying to help them do.
I understand. And in a way, are you an agency? So you help them with manual processes, or do you automate some stuff, or how does it work?
So we do a lot. We help with the strategy. We help with the brand. We help with monetization, from events to guides, courses, advertising. We help with the data set that we're building with them, of understanding their audience, and really going from, ultimately what we're trying to do is if they're going to become this voice of authority in the space, in the same way that Mr. Beast kind of went from a one-person YouTube show to now a much larger media company, that's how we're thinking about all of the creators that we work with on an individual basis.
I understand. Great example. Yeah. So you think things to be scalable, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, we're Substack is kind of a quantity platform. They need a lot of people on there, and then they monetize kind of on their top ones. For us, it's way more of a we want 1,000% batting average. So we're going to work with fewer people that we believe we can grow in a really big way and build these ecosystems around. So I think there's scale in individuals, which is a new piece, and Mr. Beast last year made 50+ million. I think in 5 years there will be thousands of people that represent this individual kind of persona that they've built out, and you could go down the line and find Richard Branson, Gary Vee, all these people who started off as like one individual creator, influencer, and then grew from there, and we're doing that in the B2B space.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
I really like it. Seems amazing. So how did you come up with the idea? How did you come up with this?
I've been in media for a while. I've worked at some good companies. I've had some success, and I think growing audiences, creating content is just like the most exciting, best job in the whole world. The problem is that the traditional model of a traditional media company is a little backwards. They don't align incentives. So, if you were a newsletter writer at a media company and you're incredibly talented and you help grow their list to 1 million+, right now, 99% of the time, 99.9% of the time, you really don't see any upside in that. They're kind of arbitraging your talent. And that's been going on for a really long time. And so that was where, I was part of that problem. I ran companies that did that. And taking a step back and saying, how can we do things differently, and how can we build a new, multi-billion-dollar ecosystem? You have to start differently, and aligning incentives was the first thing that we wanted to solve.
What are your industries, your current industries that you support?
That's a test. We have climate.
Or the main ones.
Yeah. We have fintech. We have about 5-6 different marketing creators. We have fintech, climate, cannabis, entrepreneurship, venture capital, investing, and more. That we have HR, a few more.
Would be interesting to see SaaS in there in the future.
Yeah, agreed. I think like SaaS sales is a really interesting one for us that we've been looking at. I mean, just SaaS in general. The hard part is SaaS as a category. It's really just, SaaS is the origin of it. And I've been like looking at this a lot lately, but of course the origin is just the type of revenue it was, right? Like Salesforce came out and changed how they charged.
Yes.
And it was really just a business model. It's not, and now it's an industry.
Yeah.
But really everyone's now moving to like a SaaS model. So there's a confusion, I think, of what it is. And we have to help define that before we can go into the category.
I agree. And can you give us a concrete persona who used your, who worked with you, and I don't know what results they had? How did you help them? With more details, if you could share that with us.
One of our creators or partners, or
yes,
creators.
What's a case that you like, or
yeah. One of my favorite stories right now is the Wolf of Franchises. He was in franchise sales and working in industry, incredibly hard worker, very, very intelligent. And I saw his first, maybe second newsletter he ever sent out on Substack and was like, oh my God, I love this. And at the time, he was really doing it to see if he could get like more leads and help him in sales. But when we asked him and talked to him about why he was creating content, he gave us what we call this inevitable truth that we always ask of our creators. And he said, the franchise industry is completely regulated. Almost all of the information is public for the data, but no one has really aggregated it and made it easy to consume. It's still pretty opaque considering how regulated and open the data is. And he's like, that's what I'm trying to solve with our content. And that was just such a good insight, and that's what he's been doing. And he went from 1,000 or so Twitter followers to now more than 60,000. His newsletter list is closing in on 30,000 subscribers. That he probably had less than 100 when we first found him. And more importantly than anything, like, he's becoming the voice of authority in the space. All those other things are just signals, but I'm seeing people in the industry, the biggest names in the industry, go to him and ask him questions, and like, that's exactly what we wanted to do from there. And the opportunities are pretty endless once you've built that credibility.
I love this. And what's the pricing? I saw the form that you put on your website. I was trying to do my research, and I was curious, what are the different tiers, or how can people how do people spend, or what's the price?
How do we make money?
No. Let's say I want to become a SaaS influencer. How much is that service?
So it's actually, like, we don't charge. Like, it's definitely. We're pretty, at this point, we've probably talked to 300 and we've taken 15. It's not necessarily like a pay us a service fee and do this. It's more of like, we want to create a partnership with someone and work with them for a really, really, really long time. And so a little bit different than that.
I understand. So it's not about the money. It's about the quality.
Correct. Yeah. That's exactly right.
I really enjoy that, and I really like that you want to grow with people. You grow with these people that you help, and you want to create a long-term partnership, as you said.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that my co-founder and I talked about in the very beginning was one of the other problems of media, besides misaligned incentives, was that everyone was having really short time horizons. Everyone that I was talking to was saying, "Oh, I just want to sell the company in 4 years or 5 years, and I just want to do this." And we said really early on, like, if we want to do something impactful, if we don't do something special, like, we have to do it for a really long time. So when we work with the creators, that's what the expectation is as well.
I understand. And can you share with us your backstory? I saw that you're an advisor in a lot of companies, and I was curious to know how that works.
Yeah, of course. So the quick background was, I was at a media company. We raised about $130 million US from Goldman Sachs. I was there for a couple of years and had some success on the ad sales side, doing about more than $6 million a year there for that business, and then moved to Under Armour, the shirts and shoes business, when they were acquiring all the apps, MyFitnessPal, MapMyFitness, and those, and was part of the original team down here in Austin for the connected fitness division there to help integrate those and monetize those, and then was a super early employee at a startup called The Hustle back in 2016, and was there for just over 4 years, just about 4 years, and was our president and led kind of day to day there, and then I started after I left there, trying to kind of understand and figure out what I wanted to do, and started advising media companies, which I'm on the board of directors at a company called 6am and Payload Space, a few others that Section 4 with Scott Galloway and others, and my goal with those is just to help them increase the value of their business as much as humanly possible, and help them. If I've stepped on a landmine before, like hoping that I can help them avoid stepping on the same one, and so that's really how I approach it.
I really like your thinking, and I'm curious to know what do you think was the best factor, the most important factor that made you have this mentality?
I like to say that you're a collective. Who you are today is a collective of the scars that you've had of the past. Most of the things that I say and do are things that I didn't do in the past. And those lessons are like the real stripes that you earn and see and know. And so I very much come from a place that I did not operate perfectly in the past. I made so many errors, made lots of mistakes. But you only learn those by executing and doing, and now I'm just trying to share those with people ahead of time to be more proactive with them.
Nice. I love it. I appreciate that. And I also agree with you. It was the thing that the secret to good decisions were bad decisions in the past.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And any other projects that you're currently working on?
No, I've really scaled back quite a bit. Workweek is more than a full-time responsibility, and we have so many amazing creators that we're supporting and building, and a team of operators that are just world-class. And so I just spend most of my time thinking about that and helping it build. That's super. So focus. Exactly.
Okay. Do you have any other advice to people who want to grow their brand?
Yeah, I mean, I always, you have it behind you, community over agendas. I think the agenda is how you get caught in making poor decisions. Is like if you work from hey, we need to get to this revenue perspective, or hey, we need to get to like this many sales, and you go that like bottoms up strategy, you're going to be missing the larger picture. You're not going to be starting at the beginning. You're going to be starting at the end, and that's not the best way to build the brand. Okay. Thank you so much, Adam. Is there anything else that you want to tell us today? No, that's it. Thanks for having me on, Christian. I really appreciate it. I'll happily promote you because I really like what you're doing. And thank you so much for helping the community and for being that passionate. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.